Chapter 2. The noontime atmosphere in Godric's Hollow was peaceful, yet sombre. The cold wind provided a sharp contrast to the warm sun. And as usual, Harry Potter made his way to his parents' graveside for one of countless visits. It never got easier. If anything, it only became more difficult with each passing day. Some days he couldn't bring himself to face their gravestones at all. And the sight of the ruins of the Potter home served as a constant reminder of his mother and father's ultimate sacrifice. There was no doubt in Harry's mind that Tom Marvolo Riddle was to blame for all of this. He could still see the image of Voldemort's white skull-like face, with its snake-like nostrils and piercing red eyes, reaching out with long and unnaturally slender fingers to choke the life out of him. It had been 2 months since the Battle of Hogwarts, but to Harry it felt like only yesterday. He remembered looking into Voldemort's eyes and seeing Tom Riddle staring back at him. Harry had seen the fear in Voldemort's eyes fade into confusion and then sheer terror as the Avada Kedavra curse slowly came towards him and struck him down. Thoughts of Teddy also weighed heavily on Harry's mind. Like him, Teddy would never get the chance to truly know his parents, since Remus and Tonks were gone, leaving behind a young child who would grow up without them. Harry recalled the day when Remus had named him Teddy's godfather. He had felt truly honoured, but never could have imagined it ending like this. For now, Teddy was under the care of Andromeda Tonks. They had come to an agreement through brief letters. And then there were the Weasleys. Harry couldn't help but feel guilty for all the pain and suffering that had befallen their once beautiful family because of him. He blamed himself for not considering the consequences of his actions and how they would affect those he loved. They had shouldered his burden for far too long, and that's really why he had left them all, so they wouldn't have to bear it any longer. It was the least he could do for them. Of course, it pained him deeply to leave them behind, but it was something that needed to be done. His resolve only strengthened at the funeral, and Harry slipped away without a word or a proper goodbye. From that moment on, he vowed never to return to the wizarding world. He snapped his wand in half and hid it away, wanting to disappear from the world entirely. The only thing he had left was his invisibility cloak, allowing him to hide in plain sight from everyone and everything. With a heavy heart, he whispered his apologies to his parents' gravestone as he placed his right hand upon it. As he stood up, Harry cast a wary glance around the empty graveyard before pulling out his cloak and draping it over himself. As he walked out of Godric's Hollow, he apparated to a small river near his camp. But on his way back, something caught his eye. Was it an animal? Or had someone followed him? Harry carefully scanned the area, ready for any sign of danger. Then, suddenly in front of Harry stood a white lion, its coat shimmering like that of a Patronus. It may have seemed like a ghost to some, but it was very much real. The lion's piercing purple eyes were fixed directly on Harry, and he couldn't help but stand still, gazing back at them. The lion slowly closed the distance between them, moving slowly, but not carefully. It moved with grace and elegance. "Harry Potter," it suddenly uttered. The voice was feminine. It was both a gentle yet powerful time as the voice echoed throughout the forest. "Who and what are you?" Harry asked in total confusion. "I'm Aurelia. I'm a grand mage, and I've been watching you, Harry Potter," the lion replied. "Let me show you." The lion lit up in front of Harry and he had to look away. The light was sharp and powerful. When he returned to look upon the lion, it had transformed. In its place stood a woman with flowing silver hair that seemed to shimmer like moonlight. Her purple eyes still held the intensity of the lion. "Why have you been watching me?" Harry inquired, his curiosity piqued. Aurelia's violet eyes bore into his, seeming to peer deep into his very soul. "Because, Harry Potter, you possess a unique magic within you. A magic that has the potential to bring about great change in the world. And that magic is light, and you have it from me." "What do you mean?" Harry asked, his voice ting. Years ago, I bestowed a staff imbued with the power of light upon Merlin Ambrosius. As he grasped it, the force flowed into his body and mingled with his blood. Merlin is the father of all wizards and witches. He bestowed and taught everyone of light magic, but I wasn't the only one who gifted magic. Aurelia looked away for a second, but then her violet eyes returned to meet Harry's ones. My brother, Thanaros, however, had his own wishes, the Grand Mage began. He wished to bestow humans with dark magic, and it was given to Morgan Le Fay, Aurelia explained. I don't understand, Harry said, his mind racing with questions. What does this have to do with me? Aurelia reached out a hand and placed it gently on Harry's chest. He felt a surge of warmth spread through him right into his very core. You carry it within you, Harry Potter, the essence of the light, Aurelia explained. It has been dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. And now, Harry Potter, that time has come. Whatever you wish for me, whatever you might demand of me, I can't do it, Harry replied. I've had enough. I can't go through it all again. Aurelia's face remained stoic, her violet eyes lacking any emotion. She just stood frozen in place, observing Harry. I understand the pain and suffering you have endured. However, there is still much to be said between us. All you have to do, Harry Potter, is to take my hand, and with time, I promise that everything will become clear. Aurelia spoke softly as she extended her right hand towards Harry. Harry looked at her outstretched hand, wondering what would happen if he refused her offer. And what might happen if I choose not to take your hand? Harry inquired. Then soon all of you will perish, and your world will be doomed and clouded with darkness, she replied with a commanding voice. Then, I have no other choice, Harry responded, reaching for her hand. In an instant, everything shifted from darkness to lightness.